Quiet, please. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the New York City hybrid hearing on the Subcommittee on Landmark, Public Siting and Dispositions. Please silent all electronic devices. Please at no time do not approach the dais during the hearing. If you have any question, raise your hand and one of us, the Sergeant at Arms, would kindly assist you. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Chair, we're ready to begin.
Good morning. I'm Councilmember Farrah Lewis, Chair of the Committee on Landmarks, Public Sightings, and Dispositions. This meeting is being held in hybrid format. I am joined today by Council Members De La Rosa, Marte, and Nurse. Before we begin with today's agenda, I will remind members of the public who wish to testify remotely that we ask you to register online, and you may do so now by visiting www.council.nyc.gov/land-use to sign up. If you have already registered but have not yet signed into Zoom, please do so now and remain signed in until you have testified. I've also been joined by Councilmember Ung. Thank you. For anyone wishing to submit written testimony on the items being heard today, we ask that you please send it via email to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Please indicate the LU number and project name in the subject line of your email, and we will now begin with our hearings. I will now open the public hearing on the pre-considered LU item under application number G230039XAM, an HPD proposal for the West 120th-126th Street ANCP cluster in Councilmember Richardson Jordan's district in Manhattan. We are joined today by representatives of HPD, including Ariel Rawlings, Director of ANCP, and Stefan Erdman, Executive Director of Homeownership and Shared Equity. They are joined by project team members Asher Troprovolsky of Novice Living LLC and are available for questions and answers as needed. We will also have Steve Whaler from WG Project Management. I'll remind anyone wishing to testify remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online, and you may do that now by visiting Council's website, council.nyc.gov/land-use. Council, would you please administer the affirmation?
Please have the applicant panelists take their spot at the table. Please raise your right hands. State your name for the record. I'll ask each one of you in turn to answer the following. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions? Ariel Rawlings. Stephen Erdman. Yes. Asher Toporowski. Yes. Steve Whaler. Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Panelists may begin. Please let us know when you're ready to share your presentation, and our staff will display it on the screen. We're ready. Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Great. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for having us. So we're speaking today on the West 120 to 126th Street cluster, which is a proposal to rehabilitate 4 buildings in West Harlem under HPD's Affordable Neighborhood Cooperative Program. So the purpose of this project is to gut renovate for tenant interim lease program buildings and enable the existing residents of those buildings, of which there are 22 existing residents, to become homeowners. The structure of this project will be a collaboration between a sponsor, Novus Living, of whom we have Asher Toporowski with us today representing Novus, partnering with HPD. And the sponsor, Novus Living, will manage the building during construction and throughout the conversion process. During the actual construction phase, the nonprofit Restoring Communities, HDFC, will own the building during construction to prevent any conflicts of interest with the sponsor. And upon building conversion, the building will be owned and managed by the residents of the buildings, including the existing residents and then new purchasers of currently vacant units. So the requirements for the project buildings to convert to cooperative, which are legislatively mandated, are to have 80% of existing residents attend at least 8 co-op success trainings that will be provided during the construction period, have at least 80% of existing residents remain current on their rent payments, and have at least 80% of existing residents choose to purchase their units at co-op conversion. And any buildings that do not convert to cooperatives will become rent-stabilized rental buildings, although that has never happened under this program. So to speak to the affordability of the units, for existing residents.
And sorry, if you need us to change the slides, please let us know.
Yeah, that would be great. 2 slides from where we are now. One more. Perfect. Thank you. So for existing residents of the buildings, again, there are 22 households currently occupying the 4 buildings. The residents will pay $250 for any households that are earning up to or anywhere below 80% of the area median income. Households that earn more than 80% of the area median income will pay $2,500. And the existing residents of the buildings do not have to and will not obtain personal mortgages. For new purchasers of the vacant units currently within the building, of which there are 26, the purchase prices will be set affordable to households earning 80% of the area median income. And those prices are set so that the purchaser's personal mortgages plus monthly maintenance costs plus any utilities costs will not exceed roughly a third of their income as an affordability metric. And the AMI for a family of 3 in 2023 is shown below just for reference. Next slide, please. So the current till rents that residents are paying on their units within these buildings are not producing enough income to maintain the buildings. So the monthly costs will change through a rent restructuring process when the buildings convert to cooperative. The expenses that are included in the monthly costs that get paid for by the monthly costs include building insurance, heat and hot water, electric in public areas of the building, maintenance staff salaries, water and sewer bills, accounting and legal, extermination, and minor repairs, as well as kind of co-op success support services that have been included in the cost underwriting for this project. So the co-op shareholders can decide collectively how much they would like to increase maintenance annually if, let's say, building expenses increase in the future. And for the co-op to have enough money to cover expenses at initial conversion, monthly maintenance has been set based on affordability. So it has been set to be affordable to families earning 40% of the area median income. So any residents that earn below that amount will receive Section 8 vouchers that ensure that they do not pay more than 30% of their total income on housing costs. And that voucher then subsidizes the difference between the resident's share of income that they can afford to pay and the total cost of the 40% AMI maintenance fee, which is shown here for various family sizes in this year, 2023. Any households that earn above 40% AMI, that initial maintenance cost is set so that that amount will be affordable to them, accounting for utilities, so that their total housing costs will not exceed roughly a third of that household's income. And there are some estimates presented below of what monthly maintenance might look like at conversion, but these are just estimates, and the monthly costs will get set closer to the actual conversion date. Next slide. So the typical project costs that are included in the total amount of rehabilitation work are introducing new building systems, which include low carbon electrical and heating systems and new water and gas lines. This project specifically is going through a NYSERDA electrification pilot. So all 4 buildings will be fully electrified. And the buildings will also receive new roof and windows, repairs to the facade and masonry, and modernized security, doorbell, fire safety, mail, and other building systems. The cost also goes to legalizing the unit layouts and introducing new accessibility features. So any illegal bedrooms that currently exist need to be brought up to code so that the whole building will be brought up to code. There'll be many accessibility improvements, including fully accessible showers and other kind of thoughts around wheelchair accessibility within units. And the residents of these buildings have signed off on their new apartment layouts and have seen them and are also receiving updated copies before construction starts so that they have them on file. Residents are relocated during construction for approximately a period of 24 to 30 months, and the project budget covers the difference between the amount they pay currently in rent, which they'll continue to pay during relocation, and then the relocation units rent. And the budget also pays for every cost related to moving, to storage, to down to tape and boxes and movers to help. And the project also provides co-op training and other support services to the residents to help build their knowledge and ability to become successful homeowners. So the training curriculum will be in partnership with nonprofit Co-op Monitor, who will also be hired on potentially at the choice of the residents after the building converts to co-op to help them with the long-term success of co-op maintenance. And the budget also provides a substantial reserve fund to help the building pay for any emergencies that come up down the road. Next slide, please. So the typical financing for co-op projects, which also covers how this project is being financed, the vast majority is paid for through a city capital loan, HPD no interest loan, which will be provided in the amount of $500,000 to $700,000 per unit. There will be $0 debt payments and $0 interest payments for 40 years tied to the Article 11 property tax exemption that we're applying for. And the first loan payment will be due to the city after 40 years only if the co-op chooses to exit affordability. If the co-op chooses to stay under a regulatory agreement, then there will be no loan payment due and $0 debt payments. HPD's loan does not impact the maintenance fee amount because as discussed on the earlier slide, that maintenance fee amount has been set to cover the building expenses and also to at an affordability metric to ensure that it's set at 40% of the area median income. This project is also receiving funding through a New York State grant, AHC, which will not be repaid. That's to promote affordable home ownership in the state of New York. The sales proceeds from both the occupied units, but primarily from the vacant units, will help to provide funds to help finance the project. The Article 11 tax exemption that we're applying for will reduce and eliminate the property tax costs on the building for at least 40 years, if not longer. The subsidized acquisition costs of $1 per building, because the buildings are currently city-owned, also brings down the total development cost significantly. And then in some cases, our projects also receive Resolution A funding, which is decided on by City Council or by borough presidents, but this project is not anticipating to receive any Resolution A funding. Next slide, please. So in terms of development timeline, the sponsor designation process has already occurred. Novus Living will be the sponsor on this project. The pre-development phase is the phase we're currently in, but we're quickly moving into the development or the construction period. So throughout pre-development, there's been a lot of ongoing engagement with the current residents of the building. The budget, the financing, and the scope of work for this project have been determined. The tenants have all signed off on their unit design layouts for after the rehabilitation work occurs. We're now going through the UDAP disposition process, and then the tenants will be relocated starting in January 2024 to allow us to start construction. Development or construction, we are anticipating will take between 24 and 30 months. During that period, the deed of the buildings will be transferred from the city to Restoring Communities, the temporary owner of the buildings. The construction loan will close and construction will begin as soon as tenants are relocated. Tenants will attend those co-op home ownership trainings and also have the opportunity to ask questions, to ask also for specific training curriculum that they think would be useful to them. And then the sponsor will engage an attorney to create an offering plan, which is what allows us to convert to co-op at the end of construction. After construction finishes, we anticipate it will take between 9 and 12 months to go through the marketing and conversion process. So the tenants will be moved back into the building as soon as it's ready. Marketing for the vacant units will begin. The building will convert to co-op once those units are being marketed and have signed purchasers, and the deed will be transferred to the co-op. And then the construction loan will be paid off at that co-op conversion point by permanent financing. And that is all in terms of the presentation, and we're happy to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. Before I turn it over to my colleagues, I have one quick question. What has the level of support been among existing residents for the ANCP conversion?
The support has been really good. So we actually met with residents on Tuesday, a week ago, on Tuesday night to discuss relocation. Every household actually had at least a representative at the meeting. We hosted 2 meetings at one of the meetings, except for one household who was not able to attend, and we've spoken with since. Many of them actually expressed interest in relocating before January out of eagerness to start construction.
Thank you. Do any of my colleagues have questions? All right. Thank you very much. The applicant panel is now excused. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify?
If there's anyone with us in the room today wishing to testify on this item, please come forward. See a sergeant to complete a speaker card. And we'll just check to see if there's anyone online as well. Chair, it appears we have no members of the public seeking to testify, either here with us in person or online.
Thank you. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding West 120th to 126th Street ANCP cluster under application number G230039XAM, the public hearing on this item is now closed. I now open the public hearing on the pre-considered LU item under application number G230040XAK, which is a request by HPD for an Article 11 tax exemption related to a previously approved project known as New Penn in Councilmember Barron's district in Brooklyn, which the council approved in 2021. To summarize this request, we are joined today by Arvind Sinwani from HPD. I'll remind anyone wishing to testify remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online, and you may do that now by visiting Council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. Council, will you please administer the information?
Please raise your right hand and state your name for the record.
Arvind Sindwani.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions?
I do.
Thank you.
You may begin.
Thank you and good morning. HPD respectfully requests that the council approve, pursuant to Section 577 of the Private Housing Finance Law, an exemption from real property taxation for the project known as New Penn Development, a previously approved affordable housing project for the development of 10 vacant city-owned lots in Brooklyn Council District 42. Specific addresses and block and lots are written in the council filing. The project obtained 2 previous council approvals for disposition authority in 2021. The project was unable to obtain the anticipated tax credits needed to reach the deep affordability, so HPD and the sponsor are now pursuing an Article 11 exemption to maintain the affordability of the project. The sponsors of the project were Joy Management and PM Architecture. Both MBE certified firms were selected through a competitive process and have proposed to develop these city-owned sites under HPD's Neighborhood Construction Program, also known as NCP. Under NCP, sponsors purchase city-owned or privately owned land or vacant buildings and construct multifamily buildings in order to create mid-sized rental projects on rental housing projects on infill sites affordable to families earning up to 80% of the area median income. The proposed development will consist of 10 new construction residential buildings on 10 sites with approximately 73 affordable units, including 8 heirs units, also known as senior units, and 2 super units. The proposed development will include a mix of studios, 1-bedrooms, 2-bedrooms, and 3-bedroom apartments. Income tiers include a set-aside for formerly homeless, as well as 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, and 80% of AMI bands, and rents will range from $952 for a studio at the lowest AMI tier to $2,161 for a 3-bedroom unit at the highest AMI tier. The project will set aside approximately 10% of the units for homeless families and individuals referred from other social service agencies, such as the Department of Homeless Services. The buildings will be built to exceed enterprise green community standards, and amenities will include a laundry room, bike storage, and landscape rear yards. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any of my colleagues have any questions about this project? No? Okay. Quick question, is your presentation today, is it only for the Article 11 for the project that was approved in 2021? Can you state it for the record?
That's correct.
Thank you. Councilmember Nurse?
Yes, sorry, it took me a second to wrap my brain. I did have a question, and forgive me, is this the project in the 42nd that had the request for partnership through the Interborough CLT?
That would be Linden Gardens.
Okay, sorry. Never mind.
Thank you. The applicant panel is now excused. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on this item?
If there's anyone in the room with us who would like to testify on this item, please come forward, see a sergeant to complete a speaker card. Chair will just confirm online that there are no other witnesses as well. Chair, there's no one registered or seeking to testify on this item.
All right, being there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding the pre-considered LU item number under application number G230040XAK for the New Penn Article 11 tax exemption request, the public hearing on this item is now closed. I now open the public hearings for 2 site selection approval requests from the School Construction Authority. We will hear 2 presentations from SEA team, and we will open it up for public testimony for both projects. We will be hearing a pre-considered LU item under application number G230042SCQ regarding site selection approval for a new 696-seat public school facility located in Flushing, Queens in Councilmember Ung's district. and we will then hear a pre-considered LU item under application number G230041SCK regarding site selection approval for a new 676-seat high school facility located in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, in Councilmember Brennan's district. Once again, for anyone wishing to testify remotely, we ask that you register in advance online, and you may do that now by visiting Council's website, council.nyc.gov/land use. Appearing today for the SCA on these two citing proposals is Andrea Bender and Kelly Murphy. Council, please administer the affirmation.
Panelists, please raise your right hands. I'll ask each of you in turn to answer the following question and just state your name for the record, please, when you do. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions? Andrea Bender.
I do.
Kelly Murphy.
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Lewis and members of the subcommittee. We're really excited to be here today to present two site plans for two new schools, one in Brooklyn and one in Queens. I think I'll just present them separately, and I'll start with the Queens site. Oh, is Brooklyn up? I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, that's still Brooklyn.
It's still Brooklyn? Boy, I must need new glasses. Okay, I'll start with Brooklyn. Give me 1 second to get to that part of it.
They want us to start with Queens.
Okay.
Who's got the?
Can someone switch to the Queen's presentation first?
You provided both, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely need a new glass.
All right, you may begin.
Okay, thank you. So the first site is a proposed new approximately 696-seat primary school located at 137-31 45th Avenue in the Flushing neighborhood of Queens. Pursuant to Section 1731 of the New York State Public Authorities Law, the New York City School Construction Authority has undertaken the site selection process for a new approximately 696-seat primary school at 137-31 45th Avenue, Block 5145, Lot 90, in the borough of Queens. The site is approximately 69,757 square feet and located in Queens Community Board 7 and Community Education Council number 25. The purpose of the proposed site plan is for a new school to provide additional permanent school seat capacity identified in the DOE's 5-year capital plan for 2020 to 2024. During this past school year, schools in District 25 operated about 111% over their targeted design capacity. So can we go to the next slide, please? So this just gives you, there's a little red bullseye, that's the proposed site. It's currently vacant, and you can see it's right in the heart of the neighborhood. Next slide, please. This is the tax map identifying the exact lot that is the site of the subject of the site selection. If you can go to the next slide. It's just a little bit more blown in. This is the surrounding neighborhood is a mixture of kind of adjacent to the site itself, some 2-story buildings and then some mid-rise and high-rise apartment buildings. Next slide, please. And unfortunately, I have to read from this. This is the notice of filing of the site plan was published in AM New York in the City Record on February 20th, 2023, at which time the CEC number 25, Queens Community Board number 7, and the City Planning Commission were all notified of the proposed site plan. The Community Education Council held a public hearing on March 1st, 2023, and Community Board 7 held a public hearing on March 13th, 2023. All comments received on the site were considered as part of this site selection process. The SCA affirms, that the site plan pursuant to 1731 of the New York Public Authority Law, in accordance with Section 1732 of the Public Authority Law, the SCA submitted the proposed site plan to the Mayor and City Council by letter dated December 4th, 2023. You can go to the next slide. So this slide, the next few, just kind of give you more close-up images of the site. Like I said, it's currently vacant. It's the site on the right with the fence, and these are kind of mid-rise buildings. Next slide. And then just different views looking at the other side of the site from one direction from the east and the other to the west. Next slide. And this is just looking literally inside the site, vacant site with the, like I said, the small two-story buildings directly touching the site, and then you could see the high rises in the background. Should the SCA receive approval to acquire the property on the new the new primary school will be constructed and anticipated to open in 2027. The school includes 36 classrooms for grades pre-K to grade 5, a kitchen cafeteria, a medical suite, administrative suite, a gymnasium, science room, exercise room, a library, project and art room, 2 special education rooms, a music room, guidance, and it will include approximately 29,800 square feet of at-grade play. Yeah, go to the next slide. I'm sorry. There's the bullets of all the reviews on that. So that's the completion of presentation for the proposed site plan in Queens. So I don't know if you want me to keep going or break here.
No, if you could keep going to
Okay, thank you. So for the second site, yep. The second presentation for Brooklyn.
It's being loaded now. We're just having some technical issues today.
Always. There you go. You can move right to the second slide. Thank you. So the second site is for a proposed new approximately 676-seat high school located at 425 to 439 and 441 to 443 Ovington Avenue in the Bay Ridge section of Brooklyn. We especially want to thank Councilmember Brannan for his dedicated and diligent efforts to bringing this project to fruition. Pursuant to Section 1731 of the New York State Public Authorities Law, the New York City School Construction Authority has undertaken the site selection process for a new high school facility at Ovington Avenue, Block 5873, Lots 73 and 77 in the borough of Brooklyn. The site is approximately 35,472 square feet. It's about 0.81 acres. And the property contains 2 one-story parking garage buildings, a 2-story unoccupied residential building, and a vacant 5-story building, which was formerly a senior care center known as the St. Nicholas Home. The site is located within Brooklyn Community Board 10 and Community Education Council 20. If you look here, it's just, again, the red bullseye is the site. You can see this is a really kind of dense residential, fully built out residential neighborhood. The purpose of this site plan, like the last, is to provide additional permanent school capacity identified in the DOE's 5-year capital plan for 2020 to 2024. In this case, the surrounding high schools in South Brooklyn here are all at 100% or exceeding their target capacity. For example, Fort Hamilton's at 153% of capacity. New Utrecht High School's at 139% of their capacity. And Franklin Roosevelt High School's at 128% of capacity. So, next slide. Again, these are just the tax map that shows the lots are subject to this site selection. Next slide. This is more zoomed in site view. It's a mid-block location with the buildings I identified previously on there. Where'd I go? So the notice of filing, can I go to the next slide? I have to read this again. The notice of filing for the site plan was published in AM New York and the City Record on April 19th, 2023, at which time the Community Education Council, Council on High Schools, Community Board Number 10, and the City Planning Commission were all notified, along with all the local officials. Community Education Council, the Council on High Schools held a public hearing on May 10th, 2023, and Brooklyn Community Board Number 10 held a public hearing on May 4th, 2023. The community board issued a recommendation against citing the school at this location and recommended a different location that the SEA already purchased. The SEA affirms the site plan pursuant to Section 1731 of the New York Public Authorities Law. In accordance with Section 1732 of the Public Authorities Law, the SEA submitted the proposed site plan to the mayor and city council in letter dated December 4th, 2023. So next slide. So these are just, again, just more close-up photos. It's the existing on the left, the existing St. Nicholas home, and on the right, you can see the St. Nicholas home on the right of the photo and the vacant housing unit. And then next slide. Then this is the next lot, which contains, the one on the right, you can see a little bit more. It's inside the site. These two very old parking garages are actually historic. And we came in agreement with the State Historic Office to preserve a corner of the parking garage on the right as part of the redevelopment of the site. Next slide. So I just wanted to kind of go over some of the amenities that you'll find in this site. It will have, sorry, excuse me. It will have, was it 16 classrooms, I believe, including for grades 9 through 12, District 75 classrooms, music and art classrooms, science room, science labs, a gymatorium, a library, kitchen cafeteria, administrative space, medical suite, an exercise room. This school is also anticipated to be open in 2027. So that's the end of the presentation on both schools, and we look forward to your favorable consideration, and we'd like to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One quick question before I turn it over to my colleagues. Can you tell us about the utilization rates at comparable facilities in the immediate surrounding areas for the school in Queens and Flushing?
Yes, thank you so much for your question. In Queens, in the area surrounding the proposed redevelopment site, we have PS 20 currently at 89% utilization, PS 22 on Sanford Avenue at 130% utilization, PS 24 on Union Street at 107% utilization, PS 120 on 136th Street at 86% utilization, and we have an early childhood center at PS 244 at 157% utilization.
All right, thank you. Do any of my colleagues have questions? Councilmember Ung, do you want to share anything?
Yes, I do support the project, and I know the community board also does too.
Thank you. The applicant panel is now excused. Council, are there any members of the
Thank you.
public who wish to testify on either of these two SEA sightings regarding either primary school in Flushing or the high school in Bay Ridge?
Chair, we have no one signed up remotely to testify. Once again, if there is anyone here with us today in person who would like to testify on either one of these SCA sightings, please come forward, complete a speaker card, submit it to the sergeants. Okay, it appears we have no one here to testify either in person or online.
Perfect. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding either the pre-considered LU item number under application G230042 SCQ for the public school facility in Flushing, Queens, or the pre-considered LU item under application number G230041 SCK for the high school facility in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, the public hearing on these items are now closed. Now we will vote on a number of HPD requests that were heard by the subcommittee in October, along with Article 11 item related to New Penn that was heard today. And I'll take this opportunity to recognize any of my colleagues who have questions or remarks. All right. As a reminder, the HPD items include the 506 West 135th Street, Street ANCB project in Councilmember Abreu's district in Manhattan under LU numbers 281, and two related requests for the London Gardens project, which sites located in Councilmember Nurse and Councilmember Barron's district in Brooklyn, LU numbers 282 and 283. I will now call for a vote to approve the pre-considered HPD request for Article 11 approval related to the previously approved New Penn project, along with the LUs 281, 282, 283 for the items which we heard in October. Council, please call the roll.
Chair Lewis.
I vote aye.
Councilmember Feliz.
Aye on all.
Councilmember De La Rosa.
Aye on all.
Councilmember Marte.
Aye on all.
Councilmember Nurse.
Aye on all.
Councilmember Ung.
I don't know.
Councilmember Vernikoff.
Aye on all.
Chair by a vote of 7 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, the items are approved and recommended to the full Land Use Committee.
Thank you. That concludes today's business. I would like to thank the members of the public, my colleagues, subcommittee council, land use staff, and Sergeant at Arms for your participation today. The meeting is hereby adjourned.